Ever since I first became a Christian, I would hear occasional talk about the Lord's return and the rapture of the remaining church that was still upon the earth. It never really interested me, and so I didn't look into it at all, and I never wanted to. But it seems that God had other plans. You might know how that goes if you've been a Christian for any length of time. But the pre-trib rapture theory has clearly become the popular view, and I also accepted it. However, that acceptance didn't come because of the Word of God. It came rather because of the much broadcast view of other respected Christians. Yet in the course of time, I did labor abundantly in the Word of God and doctrine, so that without ever intending to look into this topic, I came to see that the Bible clearly teaches a post-tribulation rapture. And there is a link in the description to my rapture correction warning video, and I really hope you take a look at it. At best, the pre-trib rapture supposition would have to be called a private interpretation of prophecy. We were warned about this in 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 20. But the purpose of this message isn't to go over all the scriptural support for a post-trib return of Christ, but rather it's to persuade pre-trib rapture believers to openly consider the logic of believing in the post-trib, or at least to take it seriously and the consequences of not preparing accordingly. This can be a sensitive subject, and I've shared about it, and when I do, many get angry. We must remember that, strictly speaking, our salvation doesn't rest upon what we believe the timing of the rapture to be. It is sad to say that this topic is often divisive, that the pre-trib rapture has been greatly publicized, and people have become fiercely dedicated to it because of this. What I want to do with this message is to warn Christians to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. There is a real danger here, and the Bible echoes the same type of warning message in Proverbs 22:3, which says, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished." Please understand, I want to make this very clear, that as a true Christian, I sincerely want the Lord to come soon, and I have no desire for extra years of suffering. The Bible, however, shows that we Christians will have to remain through the tribulation period, when that man of sin will reign upon the earth. But the warning I've promised you is simple enough and very logical. If you and I are both born-again Christians, then we are due either to die and go home and be with the Lord, or to be taken up in the rapture when Jesus returns. If I believe in the post-tribulation rapture, and the Lord comes before the tribulation, I haven't lost anything, and I have a great joyful surprise. But if you believe in a pre-tribulation rapture, and the Lord comes after the tribulation, then you are in no way prepared for what lies ahead. Please understand, I always want to follow the Bible, no matter what it says, but I really have found nothing that indicates a pre-tribulation rapture except by adding on to the word to say this means this or that means that. But the post-tribulation rapture is actually very plain, and you can see that in my video. Yet here, after this, is when the trap is sprung. If you've believed in the pre-trib rapture and it doesn't come, this is when the trap really comes to bear. The deceptive purpose of the pre-tribulation rapture comes to light, and so that the beast that we've been warned about in Revelation 13 comes forth when we are expecting Jesus and poses as the Messiah for every religion. Most Christians will be taken in by him. This is why we must build a strong foundation on the Word of God so that we can weather the storm. In the popular rapture view of the church today, I see three elements. First, that it could come at any time. Second, that we can't know when this time will be. And third, that it will happen before the tribulation period, thought to be a time of 7 years. I found that the Bible evidence actually contradicts these three elements. I find scriptures against it, and I again urge you to watch my video to gain the biblical basis. The pre-trib rapture teaching fits well with the prosperity gospel, but it tends to put us into a spiritual sleep and discourages the diligent watching that Jesus told us to do. Ask the Lord to increase your faith, trust him at his word, and prepare. May the Lord bless you in this message.